everyone, welcome back to video number 2 of my 10-part Cleft Lip Video Series. Today I'm talking all about cleft lip and self-esteem. Cleft lip has a lot of impact on us growing up. We have surgery, there's a physical impact, and there's an emotional impact as well. From the moment that you're born, you are labeled as having a birth defect. And I don't think that that's really healthy to internalize. In essence, you're being told you're defective. I've even heard disformed and disfigured. I mean, really? Those are strong and negative words, and they come at us through our whole lives. I have had them from obviously the day I was born and labeled with a birth defect all the way through my adult life, where people will say things like, "What's wrong with your face?" And then it's kind of like, nothing, what's wrong with your manners? But yeah, that stuff happens, and it is really hard not to internalize all of that negativity. I did internalize it. I internalized every negative thing said about me or to me. And that resulted in me having a lot of insecurity about the way I looked and having really low self-esteem about the way I looked. It also just kind of made me feel really negative about a lot of things. And so even when someone would come at me with something positive, like someone would say, "Hey, you look really beautiful," I couldn't even really hear it because I was so consumed with the negative. We can do something about that. I have learned that I can do something about it, and I want to share what I've done with you so that if you have any kind of insecurity, if it's a cleft lip or if it's something else, maybe you can use this method to help you feel a little more confident and to be a little more resistant to negative things and a little more receptive to the positive. So historically, our brains are actually wired for us to take in the negative and be more aware of the negative and retain the negative and just kind of let go of the positive and not see it that much. There's actually a really good reason for that. Think about like way back in time, cave woman Jill goes and sticks her hand on something that's burning hot. I stick my hand in the fire. That's a really negative experience. That hurts. So my brain says, "Oh, I'm seeing this negative experience. I'm going to remember this so that I don't do it again in the future because I don't want to die. I want to live on and keep my species growing." It's really important for our survival to hold on to the negative things. Meanwhile, same cave woman Jill goes and, let's say I run my hand through a river, and the river is a lovely lukewarm temperature and it actually feels really nice. The water is really soft and smooth, and I run my hand through the water. And my brain really doesn't hold on to that because why would it? That's not really going to impact my survival. So even though it's a nice and pleasant and positive thing for me, it's not really going to be seared into my memory like when I burnt my hand. So fast forward back to present day, and our brain still has those structures and that tendency to look for and hold on to the negative and to not so much pay attention to the positive. But there's really good news. Our brains have evolved a lot since the caveman days. We now have something in place in our brain where we can essentially override those tendencies that we have built in. And it's not hard to do, it just takes some practice. It no longer serves us to remember all the negative things so clearly and so well because a lot of them are not a threat to our existence. Our brain will take in a negative comment about ourselves. Our tendency is to hold on to it, but really, what's the point? That's not going to impact our survival. So we need to learn to let go of those things. What I like to visualize and picture is that I'm holding a suitcase in my hand here. And in this suitcase, it's put in all the negative things that my brain wants me to keep around because it doesn't really know any better. And the negativity can be really heavy. I mean, think about even if you're just holding something pretty light with your arm, you'll be like, oh yeah, this is nothing. I can hold this forever at first. And then you hold it a few more minutes, your arm starts to get tired. And then you hold it even longer and you're like dying over here and your arm feels like it's gonna fall off. This is what we're doing when we're holding on to all the negative things people say to or about us. So picture that you have this negative suitcase and it's filled with these heavy, heavy negative thoughts. And you've been holding that your whole life. Sometimes you need to go through those little negative things individually, examine them, and let them go individually. Other times you can just visualize just dropping the whole suitcase. And so where you're way weighted down by all your negative stuff over here, you can just let it go and become balanced again. And what happens when you're way over here with all your negativity? Someone will throw something positive at you and you might catch it, but you'll throw it right away. Or they'll throw something positive and you can't even accept it. It just bounces right off of you because you're all down here in the negativity. So what happens when you let go of that and kind of balance yourself out is you can start to be more aware of the positive things that people may say about you or to you. Start noticing the positive. You'll be amazed at how many things people really do say that are positive about you. When you can start taking in those compliments, when somebody tells you you're smart, you have a great sense of humor, you have beautiful eyes, whatever it is, you can actually take that, enjoy that moment, and hang on to it. When we can start focusing and noticing more on the positive, letting go of the heavy negative stuff, we can start to balance out how we feel when people talk about us. That is honestly what I've done. It's a practice, it takes time. You won't be able to dump your entire negative suitcase all at once, but over time you will, and you will start being able to care more about what you think about yourself and what you think about the world around you than what others are saying about you. You'll be able to just block that negative stuff out just like you used to block out the positive stuff. I hope this helps with your self-esteem. Start working on it. You are beautiful.